Hello, and welcome to a Momo Monday here on Robert versus the New York Times Crossword. Today we're going to do the Monday, January 22nd, 2024 crosswords and go for that 1,424-day streak. So here's your spoiler alert for the Monday Mini. If you'd like to play along, pause the video here, click on the link in the description below. The Mini is always free to play. Alright, let's do it. Clam Chatter, Chore, Large, Arts, MPH, and Snow. I saw the sharp there. I was like, skis? But no, a ski resort needs snow. Clam Chatter, yum yum. That sharp symbol, or pound sign, or hashtag as the kids are calling it. Pole where polar bears are found, the North Pole. Yep, polar bears at the North Pole, penguins at the South Pole. Yep, so kind of a wintry feeling mini. Anyway, now for the main event, that's the Monday Daily Grid, which is by Jake Halperin today. Here's your spoiler alert. If you'd like to play along, pause the video here, click on the link in the description below. Daily Grid does require a New York Times game subscription. Alright, let's see what Jake Halperin has in store for us. Let's get into it. Make it snappy. Asset in playing whack-a-mole. Aim. I can't take it any longer. Maybe it's stop. Farm measurements acre. Miners who look to be headed to majors. Phenoms. Magazine installment is probably issue. Metal for a blacksmith is iron. Meat out. Ration. Kitchen fixture. Inexperienced gamer is a noob. It's spelled like this. This is the oven. Playground retort. Well, shucks. One who makes his living with his hands. Bodily response to something eerie. Maybe it's goosebumps. And if school's URL is edu. Winter clock setting. It's Eastern Standard Time. Emotional states are moods. Rainbow trout. Aw, gee. This is, not sure. British publishing house founded in 1935. Penguin Books. This is Oreo. Shout out to Oreo. Lover Boys. Romeos. Songs from the 60s and 70s are oldies. Be Quietly Furious. Seethe, probably. Alternatively, question mark, or what? Initialism is not safe for work. Contemptuous expressions a sneer. Marvelous. Fab. Gotta decline is nah. Wanderers, and opposite of it is I. Not me. Maybe it's nomads and not me. Ordered to a birthday girl or boy. Open it. Thanksgiving football game. Turkey bowl. A certain ice cream or soap product. Dove bar. Compete for is vie for. Fashion legend Vera Wang. Figured out is solved a mystery. Tempeh is a soy-based protein. Token of past times. Memento. A single time is once. I blanked at the blind man as he picked up a hammer and saw. Midday rests are naps. Display size or camera res is a speck. Subject of the talk. Birds and bees. This is urn and this is a tree. Prefix with media or cultural. Spiral down the sink is Eddie, maybe? As ironic as it sounds. Wander. This is Rome. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Baghdad citizen is Iraqi. A score of 70 or less signifies a low IQ. Enough denying. Admit it. Habitats, flora, and fauna. That's the biota. BLM here. IOU. Oh, multimedia. This is a workman. Trait of the fabled fisherman's wife, greed. Goal of an intervention is rehab. This is oddly. Place for a construction project, a site. Mimicked is aped. Alright. So we've got a birds and bees puzzle. I see. It's a bird followed by a word starting with the letter B. Penguin books, goosebumps, dove bar, turkey bowl, birds and bees. Now, let me complain, because the saying is the birds and the bees. The saying is not birds and bees. You search birds and bees, you get various things, but certainly everything about this is basically the birds and the bees. So that really rings not correct to my ear. Unfortunately. But okay, if we imagine this says the birds and the bees, then it's a nice theme. Even if we don't, it probably is still a nice theme, but I like the clue on Dove Bar. A Dove bar of soap or a Dove bar of chocolate. Different companies, I think. Which one do you hit first? If you type in Dove Bar, Dove Beauty Bar, you get the soap first. Are the two companies related? The font on the logo is not a million miles away, but... So that's kind of a cute observation in the clue there. Turkey bowl. It wasn't an expression that I was totally familiar with per se. Turkey bowl. It's an American sports comedy. I mean, like, the etymology is clear. Nickname for informal American football games held on Thanksgiving or over Thanksgiving weekend. I see, so it's more... Okay, or a common name for American football games. High school American football games, rather. Yeah. It's a nice puzzle. It's just the revealer, I think. The thes are very obviously missing. Anyway, let's look through this thing, see what we can learn. It's just a Monday, so it should hopefully be nice and beginner friendly, I would hope. Yeah, shout out to Oreo. I guess maybe NSFW is not necessarily a well-known initialism. Got MIT. Produce Whoppers, interesting. Really makes you think of Burger King. Do we have Wanderers? Okay, I was gonna say maybe it's Roamers. Biota. Nice Q here. Phenoms, I kind of like. Noob, most of the time I would spell with 2 O's, or 2 zeros even, but sure. Can be spelled like that. Yeah, playground retort can always be stuff like are so, am not, am too. So, today was am too. Yeah, I think it's all fine for a Monday. Is there another 2-word phrase ending in it? Yeah, open it and admit it. BLM. Maybe also tough initialism? I don't know. I think it was just about fine for a Monday. I bet that plays pretty average overall. That's actually, I was right on my average for the last 60 days, so. Let's see what xwstats.com says. Apparently, a bit more than half of people solved it slower than average, but the median solver solved it 2% slower, so I think it's right about average. It seems pitched correctly. Interesting revealer placement in that it's not flush to this edge. It makes these things lock in. I see. It has to be here because you can't put a black square here to push it over one. I see. Bit awkward to grid around them, I guess. Yeah. What's the length then? The length is 12? Yeah. If it was 10, it's easier. It's easier to get a spiral of all 10s. So the Turkey Bowl and Goosebumps are 10s. We have Dove Bar in the middle also. So there's a lot of theme material. I just wish it was the birds and the bees. I realize it wouldn't fit symmetrically, but anyway. I realized I should have switched to this view earlier, but here we are. Anyway, let's move on to the Plusword. Here's your spoiler alert for the Plusword. If you'd like to play along, pause the video here, click on the link in the description below. Plusword is free to play. It's a British mini crossword meets Wordle. Macaroni or penne, those are both pastas. Ski slope, pale as ashen. Lean or bias. Using few words is terse. One posing a question is an asker. Man and white are aisles, looking at the acrosses. Great white is a shark. It's a peast, is that right? slant here. And we just have trick, I think. There we go. Isle of Man, Isle of Wight, both British isles. Pieced, also the thing that you fence on, has the word pieced. Slant can both mean a literal slant or a figurative slant. Yeah, so slightly British today. Let's move on to the code words. Here's your spoiler for the code words. It's unfortunately not free to play, but we always start with code words tough. Wow, ending in Z. I wanted waltz. Does this make sense with an A though? Axial? Should we just try waltz? That's what I wanted. No. Waltz is quite bad, apparently. Okay, so we should think more about this one. Could be something like Excel. Yeah, so this is interesting, right? Given the setup here, one of these should be a vowel. But this should also be a vowel. It's giving us quite a lot of information here. This looks like an E, doesn't it? Maybe not. Okay, so it's not a U. A works, I think. I mean, I can't think of a word other than axial, but I don't think it's axial. Again, Excel works. Can't be an O. Oh, it can be oxbow or something. Maybe that's actually the thing to try. And then here, topaz, something like that. That looks okay. It could still be wrong. Is it with pasta here also? Where can we go here? E? Could be an E, couldn't it? Or where, like what? Maybe this is an R, and this is an E. That looks good. I guess this could be an H, Heath. Okay. Ooh, this looks quite bad, doesn't it? Spaces. Okay, here we go. No. Conch? Cactus. There's our U. All right. Amulet and blue. Where's our this apparel and terrace? Conjure. Organ. There's croquet. Machine. There's our I. Acidic and dowel. Crafty, probably. Archive. Mock. And there we go. Just a touch above average. A couple of missteps there, but oxbow and topaz worked out. This was kind of fun. Knowing this had to be a vowel, and then seeing these two letters appearing here also. So that felt pretty puzzly. Let's try code words regular. See what we can find out from here. Like, this is definitely a vowel. But I don't know which vowel it is. Saber? Something? But what is this then? I guess sable. Sable could work. Okay. Where to next? This word here. Maybe it's not bells. I think this is an O, right? Lotto. Okay. Resolve. Some kind of berry. Dewberry or something. Extract. Splotch. Rehash. Surface. Dustpan. We actually have waltz in the end. It was dewberry. Pizza, yum. Conjoin. Quorum. Q is our last letter? No. What are we missing? Blank and king. Alright. That was a bit easier. We finally had waltz. That was just one puzzle off. I guess the breakthrough really was sable combined with bells down here. Nice. Let's move on. Let's move on to Flashback. Haven't played Flashback that much. But this is the new Flashback. Can we place these 8 notable events in chronological order? 1878, early phones work only in pairs to let people choose whom to call. A veteran creates the switchboard. Still a prisoner, Nelson Mandela secretly begins talks with the South African government to end apartheid, defying some in his party. So is that the 80s? Early 80s? Mid 80s, 86. Court ladies in Japan use kana, a newer writing system, to pen everything from diaries to the Tale of Genji, perhaps the world's first novel. I think it's before 1878, but how old is it? We'll see. 950 to 1100, quite a bit before. Using a fruit from the New World, a Naples chef writes the first known recipe for a tomato sauce, calling it very tasty. Okay, so it's gotta be here, right before 1878. 1692. Congress limits highway speeds to 55 miles per hour to save fuel. In protest, truckers use CB radios to organize convoys inspiring hit movies and songs. I think that's probably in the 70s. Early 70s? Mid 70s. A black pioneer, Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable, sets up a trading post and farm at the site that becomes Chicago. It's gotta be either here or here. I think it's more likely here. Circa 1780. A dissertation by American nurse Claire Fagan persuades doctors to do something radical, let parents stay with their children in the hospital. Okay, so I think that's got to be here. Is it after 74? That's wrong. I think that's got to be here. 1966. All right, 2 more. In revolutionary France, Maximilien Robespierre's reign of violence requires a new English word, terrorism, to describe it. So this is going to be here. Early 1800s, or 93 to 94. The Ming Dynasty expands civil service exams, a competitive test needed for elite jobs. Rich families begin tutoring children as young as 4. I don't know when the Ming Dynasty is. So the question is, does it go here or here, I think? Let's try here. There we go. Well, didn't know most of the dates there, but in the top 25% of people. Nice. Last thing to do before we go, New York Times Connections puzzle. We're trying to make 4 groups of 4. Let's see what we got here. Head, wing, candle, hose, crayon, cabin, fleece, nose, engine, bulb, seal, ear, stalk, stiff, honeycomb, and rob. Shout out to me. Rob, fleece, hose, and stiff mean to like cheat somebody. That looks okay. To rip someone off. Candle wax. Wax candle, wax seal. Ear wax, nose. Things made out of wax, maybe? Like this? That's better. Nose, ear, head, and... Okay, I think this is stuff made out of wax. Now we've got the hard thing. Headlight, light bulb, cabin light, parts of an airplane, something like this. And bulb, ear, head, and stalk are all like, you know, ear of corn, bulb of garlic, head of garlic, stalk of garlic. I think I like this. Parts of an airplane and units of produce. Units of vegetables. There we go. Got it in easiest to most difficult order. And figure it out. Always good to figure out all the connections. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. and I'll see you tomorrow for some Tuesday puzzles. See you then.